Hi, thanks for checking out our channel here. It's going to be possibly a how to repair video on this old unit, or older unit. This is a Zareba A20M. It's a 20-mile fence charger. This is a solid state unit. It's not low impedance. So these are a totally different type of unit. Solid state was around from, started making solid state units of some sort back in probably the 70s all the way through the standardized ones all the way through the 80s and early 90s, and then everybody kind of got away from them, went to low impedance. A lot of them started back in the 80s and 90s, switched over to all that. And then Zareba, Blitzer, Red Snapper, and them guys, they're about the only ones that still had a solid state unit, a small one like this one, all the way until about 5, 6, 7 years ago. And then they didn't make them anymore. And then they still made parts for a while. Now you can't get parts from them anymore. So we might have a part for this one. I don't know yet. We have to kind of play around with it and see. The good thing about these, for what they're designed to do, it says 20 miles, but take that with a grain of salt. The mileage ratings on units are just kind of a pie in the sky rating. They're single strand of high tensile 12.5 gauge fence wire. The stuff with the least amount of resistance. And a single wire that's perfectly clean and a perfect, excellent ground system. So if you start using that rope wire, tape stuff, multi-wire, electric nets, all that stuff, cross fencing, all this stuff it just sucks down the mileage ratings down to nothing. Just mileage doesn't mean anything at that point. But these work good for what they're designed to do. I wouldn't run no 20 miles of multi-wire fence with it. You just start off strong and then gradually get weaker as it goes along. This particular unit's a 2010 model based on the serial number. The first 2 digits is the year it was built. That's 10, so it's 2010. So let's plug it in here and see what it does. It's a 110, 120 volt unit. These do click. These aren't weed burner units. These do click. Alright, it's clicking. Nice sign. A little light there, and I do not see the light flashing, which that could mean it's bad, or it could mean it's burned out. Well, it's putting out good power. a good spark. Let's test across it and see what we get out of it. That's right. We're going to go take our Gallagher. We got a fault finder here made by Gallagher. We're going to go take the ground probe, and we're going to go across fence to ground. We're getting 7,000 volts out of it. Almost 7 kV out of it. So it's going to be working fine. The note on it says, very weak, need more power. Well, can't really make these much stronger than what they already are. Basically, you get all the power you'd ever want, or not enough. And most likely this person wishes, 20 miles of fence. Yeah, well, that's based off a lot of variables. But let's pull it apart and just to see. Let's see, we got to take this metal thing off first. Alright, hold on. Get a different screwdriver out. Take this metal piece off first. Now you probably recognize it. Just a Zareba on the inside. It's a standard one. They just slapped that out of the case on there just to make it, look different than their other ones. So now we'll take the other screws out. I'm just more curious what it looks like on the inside. I don't think there's going to be anything else we're going to be able to do with this thing. It's exactly how it's designed to be. You can't really make these things any stronger than what they are. It's set in stone, basically. I mean, you could put a bigger capacitor in there, but then you might overpower the transformer and burn it up. I don't. This is the capacitor right there. It's a black thing. It's 100 microfarad, 150 volt DC capacitor. So I mean, we could put a. I don't even know if I got another capacitor that's even bigger. I don't think it's really gonna help anything with this. So I'm just gonna. We'll call the customer up and say, hey, your unit works fine as it is. It's exactly what it's designed to do. It's right where it needs to be. You're not going to be able to do, unfortunately, with solid state units versus low impedance, you're basically stuck with whatever it's going to put out. So we'll put this back together. We'll call the customer up. I don't know, charge them just a little fee for looking at it, but there's not much else we can really do with it. Can't really fix something that's not broken. I mean, sometimes we can make units stronger, and sometimes you're just kind of stuck with what they are. And on this one, you're stuck with what it is. It's designed for small areas or lighter fence loads, stuff like that. This is not a heavy-duty fence charger made for 100 acres or more. It's made for 10 acres or less, or a small garden. You know, I'd personally just use this on small little fence for. You don't want to. I wouldn't say chicken area, but because this doesn't have the high, low impedance capacitive discharge type stuff that the a low impedance unit does. But on like that poultry netting stuff, this thing will just fall on its face. It just can't handle a load hooked up. But you can see it shot a spark, like ½ inch, quarter inch, 3/8 of an inch spark out of the thing. Well, that's it for this little video. It's a short and sweet, I guess. I was charging them a little, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks, just kind of go through it, look at it, I guess, maybe, I don't know. And then a little freight to get it back, or I might just charge them freight, you know, $15, mail it back and call it done. Just help the guy out. All right, if you got a unit you want us to take a look at, I'd be happy to take a look at it for you. You know, if you want to look for parts, we'll be happy to try to help you out with parts on the unit. And thanks for watching our videos. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about us. Until next time, we'll see you guys later on.